channel. So today I'm going to be doing the first update to my project pan, and I have a ton of updates to talk about. You can see a bunch of products behind me here that I'm going to be adding into my project because I used up a ton of stuff. So I watched my first introduction video and I'm going to try and do everything in order. That way it's a little bit easier if you just came from my first video to kind of see the comparisons, but I will be popping up kind of little pictures or video inserts from my previous video showing the progress. That way you can see them sort of side by side. The first one I have, you won't really be able to tell any difference. This was the Balm Mad Lash Mascara, and this one is pretty good. I've been using it a ton. I've been using it in conjunction with a couple of other mascaras. It's not fully dried up yet or anything, so I'm just going to continue using this on its own with other mascaras. I'm not going to add those into the project because I have like 5 other ones that I'm working on right now, but this one I'm going to keep using until that one's all dried up. Then the next one we have is my Dior Addict Lip Glow in number 001 Pink. This one, it's twisted all the way up. You can see I scooped everything out of there and I really can't get much more product out of here, so I decided to take this one out of the project. I'm gonna call it a day. I used the whole thing up, scooped out a ton of product, so this one was my first empty that I have. This next one I didn't make a ton of progress on. This was the Glossier Wild Fig Balm.com. You can see I marked right after that first video right over here, and this is how much progress I've made so far. Nothing too crazy. I have quite a few other lip products in my project now, so this one has kind of been taking the back seat, but I still really do like the product and I have been using it a ton. You just don't need a lot in order to use this one, so this is where this product is at. I have my Animal Crossing coconut juice little lippy stick thing. I forgot what these are called, lip crayon. So this is it twisted all the way up, and I think I made pretty good progress. Again, I haven't been using this one a ton because I have some other products that I added in, but yeah, this is where I'm at with this one. I still really love the product and I love the color. I think it's so pretty and I'm still happy to have some more time with it in my collection. Then I have the eyeshadows that I put into my project. I put in 2 shades from this Pure and Raw Beauty Kristi collab palette. So this is the one that has like the colorful side and then the neutral side. So I put in the shade Copper Boxes and Mood Point. I said I was going to use them both up or just have a goal of hitting pan, but I ended up hitting pan and Mood Point like really soon after sorry, I should cover this, really soon after I posted my other video. And it's like a pretty big pan, so they're not really that even anymore, and I normally would use Copper Boxes with Mood Point because this one is just a bit too warm. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this out of my project pan just because I did hit pan on one of the shades and I haven't really been wearing eyeshadow that much, so I'm just going to take this one out. The next one we have is another empty. This is the Milk Hydro Grip Mini Primer. You can see I have like a tiny bit more product over here, but I'm not able to get it out. The pump doesn't reach it and I can't figure out a way to take this off, like, because this has like the spring in it and it's like an airless, it's not an airless pump like the regular Hydro Grip. So I'm just unable to get out the little bit that's left at the bottom. So if you know how, let me know, but for now I'm just calling this one another empty. Then I have my Milk Baked bronzer, cream bronzer. Also made really good progress. I felt like I wasn't making progress just because I hadn't flattened it out completely yet, but looking back at the other video, it was actually domed quite a bit more. I used this one pretty much every single day since I first purchased it, which was like a day before I put it into my project. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. I haven't been using it as much lately, so I feel like I would have had it like completely flattened if I had continued using it at like the level that I was before. But yeah, I still am enjoying this and I really do like it. Then next one we have quite a bit of progress in was my Hollywood Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury. This is just a mini one in the shade number 2 Fair. So you can see this is where I put it in, and then this is what it's up to now. I use this one pretty much every time I do my makeup, so yeah, I really like it, and I would definitely consider purchasing a full size afterward, but if I do use this up, maybe I'll just get another mini because I feel like I really enjoy things and then I purchase a new one and then I'm like, oh, you know, on to bigger and better things. But I have really been loving this, especially for the summer. Sometimes I just use this and I don't even use any concealer or foundation or anything. I don't have any makeup on today, but yeah, this is really nice, especially like for days like today. Like my skin is doing okay. You can see I don't have on any makeup right now, and I would just throw a little bit of this just to cover up any kind of darkness, or like I guess maybe any little like discoloration or like pores on my nose and stuff like that, but this one has been really, really good, so I love that one. Then this one has major progress since last time. This is the ColourPop Overdramatic Super Chalk Cheek. So first time we had no pan, and this time we have like a giant pan. I've been using this pretty much every single time I do my makeup again, and I really, really love the color on here, and you can see that it has been definitely used. So I'm really, really happy with this one. Then the next one, I can't really say the same. This was the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek highlighter in the shade Lunch Money. I haven't really been using this one that much because I got a new highlighter, which I have over here, that I'm going to add in. I think I'm going to take this one out. It's just a little bit too like icy for me right now. It's still definitely a really, really pretty shade, but I've been liking things that were a little bit more golden, whereas this one is a little bit more like a champagne. But yeah, I think I'm going to take this one out for now. Maybe I'll re-add it in one day if it starts drying up or anything like that. But yeah, I'm going to remove this one for now. Another really exciting empty. This is the Physicians Formula Mirror Mover Butter Bronzer Palette. This is one of their limited edition palettes that had the 3 shades in it, and this one I do have another empty. So this one was the light bronzer. I was mixing the light bronzer with this one, but mainly using the light one just because this one is super, super like glittery and shimmery, and then this one is just too dark for me. This was in Endless Summer, so I used up this one basically all the way. There was just a tiny little bit around the edges, but then they started cracking when I was putting my brush in, and then they all just like crumbled out. But yeah, I used up this one, and I'm really, really excited about that. So now I'm able to roll in another bronzer in my collection. And yeah, I'm super happy about this one. I'm not going to keep this palette anymore. I think I'm just going to pass it on to somebody else who will use these 2 shades because they're not quite perfect for me. So yeah, I'm going to get rid of this one. This one I'm going to be taking out of my project pan just because I have another powder that I've been using way more because I didn't have a powder at the time, and then I kind of like rediscovered one, and then I got a new one. But yeah, this was the Ciate melted or marble light powder in the shade Cashew. I did use it a ton, but nothing that you'll be able to tell any difference, to be honest. Yeah, it's fine. This one is just a little bit thicker than the other ones that I've been using because you can see this one has a bit of coverage, like quite a bit of coverage to it, where the other ones are a bit more thin, and yeah, I guess a bit more thin than this one. So this one I'm going to take out. Then I have the Beauty Bakery flour powder. I wasn't really using loose powder as much. I was using my newer pressed powders a little bit more than this one. So I didn't make a ton of progress, but lately I've been using it a little bit more in like the last week or so. So this is where I'm at for now. It's also really hard to get powder out of the out of these containers when there's only a little bit left. Because you can see I need to shake this again because there's really no powder even in the top, so this is probably even less, to be honest, by the next time I do my makeup. But when you're shaking it, like turning it upside down and shaking it out, it's hard to get a lot of it out. So yeah, that is where we're at with the flour powder. The next one I have is the CeraVe Hydrating Mineral Sunscreen, the SPF 30 Sheer Face Tint. So this one is okay. This one I'm also going to be taking out because I just haven't been wearing like a full face of makeup. This was going to be like my replacement for foundation for the summer, but I haven't been needing it. So because my skin has been pretty good lately, and I've just been needing to correct my under eyes, and I've been able to kind of get rid of any other discoloration with my Charlotte Tilbury one. So this one I'm going to take out. It's too greasy, it's too shiny. It's a good option if I did want to wear foundation, but it just feels sticky on my face, and it's like the sticky that like doesn't go away when you set it with powder. So yeah, I'm just going to get rid of it. I did use it about like 3 or 4 times, so I made some progress on it, so I did mark it, but I will be taking this one out of my project. And then last thing that was in my initial project pan was my Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Corrector in the shade number 1 Fair Pale. And this one I made a ton of progress in as well. I don't even think I had pan last time, which is crazy because I've had pan in it for so long now. But this is where we're at. You can see I've made really good progress. There's super deep dips around the pan as well. So I think I'll be expanding it really soon, pretty quickly. And yeah, that is where we're at with the Charlotte Tilbury. So now for what we're going to be adding into the project, I do have quite a few things. Okay, so I guess I'll kind of start with like the base products. So I have 2 primers that I added in. We'll start with this one, which is actually almost empty. You didn't even see it last time, but this is where it was at when I first added it. This is the Milani SPF BFF SPF 30 primer. It's really good. I've been using this every single day, even if I don't wear makeup, just as my regular SPF, because it is SPF 30, I keep saying SPF, but yeah, this is what I've been using as my daily sunscreen and moisturizer. So I made a ton of progress on this, and I use quite a bit of it because I want to make sure that I get a nice lather. But started up here and we're down to here, so I'm definitely going to be using this one up soon. Once I use this one up, I am going to be using another one, so I'll grab that. I have this one from Philosophy. This is the Brighten My Day Skin Protecting and Brightening UV Shield SPF 30 UVA Infrared Invisible Light Protection. So this is what I'm going to be using once I use up this Milani one, because I found this at, I think, like TJ Maxx or something, and it was really cheap, like it was on clearance. But yeah, I'm going to be using this one next. So I'm technically putting both of these in, but this is going to be used up by the next time, like the next update. So I'm just going to put this one in at brand new. Then another primer that I have, this is just like a regular primer. This is the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better Primer Makeup Gripping Base. And this one I've been using sometimes in conjunction with this one, but normally I'll just use this one on its own lately. But if I have like a day where I'm going to be wearing my makeup for a long time, I'll go ahead and add this one in as well. It's really, really good. I like it. I just have a ton of primers, so I want to go ahead and get them out of my collection. This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer. So this is going to be the next one that I add into my project. So these ones are on deck, the Philosophy and the Laura Mercier, and these ones are on their way out, the Cosmetics and the Milani. Then I'm just going to throw in another concealer just because this is almost empty. I can't really mark it because you can't really see into it, but this is the Kokie Be Bright Illuminating Concealer. If I'm using a concealer other than my Charlotte Tilbury one, this is the one that I'm going to be using. So I figured I would go ahead and throw it in. That way I could track my progress on it, and I'm just going to use this one until it's all dried up. Then I have the ColourPop Cheek Dew Serum Blush. This is in the shade Kiss Kiss. You can't really see that well just because it was like laying on its side before, but I was able to shine a light through it and see where it was at. So this is where it started at, and this is where we're at now. I've used this a handful of times, probably like maybe 5 or 6 times since I purchased it, and it's really, really pretty, and I like it a lot, especially for the summertime. So I'm going to add this into my project. Then for my powders, to replace this Ciate one that I'm removing, I have from this Hourglass palette, this is the Ambient Lighting Edit Mini from, I think, this past holiday. Mine's actually broken, so I figured I should probably use the product in here before this like completely gets destroyed. So I am adding in the finishing powder. I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, but I've made really good progress on this already. You can see I have, like, you know how baked products kind of get like the holes in it? I have those, and then you can see next to the blush, it's flattened out quite a bit. So that's this one I've been using on my under eyes. And then for the one that I've been using all over my face is the Becca Light Shifting Powder in Scattering. And this one did have like a pattern kind of embossed on it, but I was able to, yeah, I don't know if you could really tell, but from using it, I've kind of was able to wipe away the embossing, and this one was also brand new once I put it in. So that is that one. I have 2 bronzers I'm gonna add. I have this Hourglass bronzer, which I did purchase, but I bought it off of Poshmark for like $15 because I didn't have a bronzer that I liked. I have only a few left, and some of them I'm just not feeling. Like, I was gonna throw in my Nabla one. This is the Nabla Skin Bronzing in Ombre, but it's just not pigmented enough for me to like want to use it every single day. So this one I will get through eventually, and I have used it a ton already, but I just wasn't feeling like I wanted to add it. And then I saw this full-size Hourglass bronzer in Luminous Bronze Light on Poshmark, and I literally got it for like $20, so it's crazy. So I added this one in. It was brand new. I don't know if I've used it quite a bit, but I don't know what kind of progress you could tell. But yeah, this is where we're starting with here. Then I have this Ciate bronzer in Palm Island. This is one that I already had, but this was a matte bronzer, and I prefer a little bit more luminous for my face. But then sometimes I do like to bronze up my neck if my face is more tan than my neck. So I am going to put this one in. I've used this one a ton. You can see it has a little bit of the embossing left, but you know, the sides are already showing a little tiny bit of pan, so I figured I would put this in since I'm going to be using it a ton in conjunction with the Hourglass one. So those are the next 2 I'm adding. Then I also have this Pixie by Petra highlight. This is the Glowy Gossamer Duo in Delicate Dew. I've been obsessed with this. I mix both of them, but mostly I use this one, which is like the more golden tone, and it is like so magical. It's literally so pretty. I love it. And then like mixed together is amazing. So let me do a little bit of the other one. Wow. This thing is so pretty. I bought this off Poshmark as well because I don't think they sell this in store anymore, or I haven't been able to find it personally myself at any Targets near me or at my Ulta or anything like that. But yeah, that's the highlight that I'm replacing the ColourPop one with. Then I'm also going to be adding in a setting spray. I didn't really have any setting sprays that I found that worked that well for long wearing aside from my Urban Decay All Nighter, but I don't know, I just wasn't feeling that. I've had that one for like years, not that specific one, but like that one in general, and I've been wanting this one for so long. This is the Milk Hydro Grip, and I was in the city with my boyfriend this past weekend, and he bought me this because I was like, I really want to get this, but it's like $18 for the mini, and he's like, it's fine, I'll get it for you. So he bought it for me. So I'm putting this in at new, and I did just mark where it was. It's really, really good. I've used it once or two times already, I think. I love how it smells. I love the Milk Hydro Grip line. So this is where we're starting here. Yeah, I just have three new lip products. This one is replacing my Dior lip glow. This is a new Dior lip glow, and this one is in the new shade Mahogany, which is 020. This is how much product is left, and this one was also brand new, but I did use quite a bit. This is what it looks like rolled completely up, and then rolled down you'll be able to get a better idea of how much I've used. So it was flat at the top, and then I've used about that much since I first purchased it, and this is going to be what I'm going to be using for like my everyday lip balm, again same as the other Dior one, but I love this color like so much more. Then I just have two glosses. I have these two little Tower 28 minis. This one is in the shade Fearless, which is probably my favorite one, and then I have this one in the shade Fire, which is a little bit more orangey. So you could see I've used Fearless like just the tiniest dot more, but yeah, really love these. The formula is so good. I actually got a full size in like my Ipsy Glam Bag X. I got the shade Coconut, which I wouldn't have picked for myself, but I actually do like it. I have a little bit on today. So this one's not in the project, but just to show the difference between like the full size and the mini. Like when I got the full size, I'm like, oh my god, this is huge, because I didn't realize how like small the minis actually were. But yeah, I have so many lip products, so I just wanted to try and get some out of my collection, and I figured that these would be easy to use, and I really like the formula. So those are the last things in my pan. I feel like my project pan is so big now, but let me count up how many items it is. So I have 21 items in my project pan. I'll just go over them again really quickly just because I know I took out a lot of stuff and I added in a lot of new things. So I have the Balm Mad Lash, the Glossier Wild Fig Balm.com, the Animal Crossing Lip Crayon, the Milk Bronzer, Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I have the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek, the two Tower 28 glosses, the new Dior Lip Glow, the Flower Powder, the Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Corrector, the Pixie Highlight, these two primers, this new setting spray, this concealer, this blush, these two bronzers, and the powder from the Hourglass palette and the new Becca powder. And that is everything for the updates as far as my project pan goes. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!